Hi, my sweet friends. How are you? I am here to bring you a recipe that I am creating. It's not often that I bring you in while I'm creating, but it really is okay this time because I have complete confidence in this recipe. If you do not, you can wait until I post pics and the answers. Now, just a little heads up. I was going to offer you a video today first of the vinaigrettes that I've been promising you. But I had a little incident and I'm afraid I'm just not quite up to par today. Our 70-pound Doberman girl and I had a very severe meeting of the heads. And I'm afraid she gave me a small concussion. And so I am functioning through. I'm going to be just fine. But she was on the ground. I was bent over. She spooked and her head bone came up and instantly hit all of my head bone here, pretty much knocking me almost senseless. No, it didn't have to do much to do that, but it did definitely affect my functionality. So bear with me. I'm not loud. You may have to turn up your volume. Let's get started with what I have. In this pan, I have 1 pound of lean ground beef and 1/2 of a large bell pepper. I have sauteed those together, and while it was cooking, I added the following. I'm going to read to you because it's off of my little new creation. I added 3 tablespoons of my favorite barbecue dry rub, which is Killer Hogs. This is in a bag because I have used like 8 pounds of it over this last part of the season. So I have added 3 tablespoons of Killer Hog. You use what you like, just watch your sodium. This is a little bit sweeter. Barbecue dry rub. To that, I also added 2 tablespoons of my homemade taco seasoning. Now, you can use any taco seasoning, but I recommend you just make a homemade one and store it, or get one that is low sodium, okay? Because most of it is just pure salt. So I added 3 tablespoons of the barbecue dry rub and 2 tablespoons of my homemade taco seasoning to the beef and to the bell pepper. I cooked those until the bell pepper was tender and the beef was done. Then I added 1 rinsed and drained can of black beans. Now, those just got stirred in at the end, so we didn't destroy them. They didn't need to be heated. They're going to go in the oven. To the sauce for our Sloppy Joe, our tacos, Southwest Sloppy Joe casserole, for the sauce. I added 1/2 cup of my favorite barbecue sauce. I am a diabetic and I feel responsible as a diabetic to do as many of the right things as I can. You use what you like. This for us is just tremendous and we don't know the difference. That is what I aim for. So I used 1 full 1/2 cup of my favorite barbecue sauce and 1 1/2 teaspoons of Dijon mustard. All right. I added 1 teaspoon garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of onion powder to that ground beef and those beans, and that's all happy and married. I greased a 2-quart casserole dish, 1.5, 2 quart. I think this is a 2 quart. Yeah, this is a 2 quart. So I greased this with butter, and we're going to add that bean mixture to it, ground beef and bean mixture. All right, for our Southwest Sloppy Joe casserole, we have our beef and bean mixture in our bottom. And it's been greased. Now we're gonna mix our cornbread. You can use any you like. This is Jiffy corn muffin mix. I use it because this is where Jiffy is made in the state of Michigan, in the Mitten. And I'm very proud of that. So we have one 8.5 ounce box of that. To that, I'm going to add one very large egg. Ended up being a double yolk, which is fine. It's okay. And then we're going to add just over between 1/3 and 1/2 cup of milk. I don't know if you can see me or not. Here, let me get this back. Just a little bit. There we go. So we've added our milk and our eggs to our cornbread. Now here I have 2 jalapenos that I have chopped. These are roasted from our garden that I froze after I roasted them. There are no seeds, so it's not really hot, it's just smoky. And we're gonna add those in. And we're just gonna give this a mix right now. I want those yolks to kind of be married together. And we're going to add some cheese. Now, to the dry mix, I added 2 teaspoons of my homemade taco seasoning. That's all to the dry mix. Now we're going to add cheese. Here, Darlin Hubs grated a lot of cheese for me. He was feeling very bad that I felt bad. So here I have pepper jack cheese and cheddar blended together. I have less pepper jack than I have cheddar. So we're going to add about 1/2 cup of pepper jack and about 1/2 cup of cheddar, and that's sharp cheddar. And we're just going to stir that right in there, and it's thick. You want it to be thick. And we're going to spread this over our casserole. All right, I have my oven already set, and I have it set to 375 degrees. We have our muffin or cornbread mix right here. You can see I'm just going to spread it. Just want to start at the top. Move your way around. Like I said, it's thick. You want it thick. We don't want a thin cornbread mix on our casserole, because this basically serves as a bun. And we want to get it as even as we can because we want it to bake evenly. So don't leave too much in the middle. Okay. You can hear Muggsy in there. He doesn't like being away from Mom very much. I'm sorry I am not the ambitious person that I was this afternoon. But thank you for your grace and your understanding. And I'll go over this recipe with you again. And I'll post the recipe for you later. All right, I think we're pretty good. All right, my friends, here you have it. If you don't think this is going to be delightful, you're going to be wrong. Now you can mix it as you like it. You don't have to add jalapeno. You don't have to add pepper jack cheese. You don't have to do any of the black beans if you don't like it. I like to have everything I eat taste amazing, but I like it to be semi-healthy. Cornmeal in and of itself and cornbread mixes that have any sweeteners in it are not the healthiest, so I make it healthier, and I enjoy it and I love it. So this, my friends, is my version of Southwest Sloppy Joe casserole, because when this all comes together and we spoon it out onto our bowl with a little salad, it's going to be amazing. We're going to bake this at 375 until it's bubbling and the cornbread is done, nice and golden, We don't want light. We want it done. And we want all those cheeses melted that are in there. This is quick. You saw how quick it is. It's so fast, so fabulous, and I meant it. So I hope that you will try this recipe. I will post pictures when it comes out, and I hope that your night is blessed. Again, God is good. He loves you. I love you. I am so thankful for your sharing these videos. It's love to me. And boy, today could I use a little. See y'all soon.